The following footage is from a preview build of the game. Things subject to change. Hello you, it's ITSMYYARD here, and you want my honest thoughts about 2K Battlegrounds. Well, I have, over the course of a weekend, been able to play and preview the game. We were given only two modes. First mode was Fatal 4-Ways for either female or male. There was 15 characters we could select, only 4 females and 11 WWE male superstars, and 2v2 steel cage matches, which are surprisingly fun. We'll talk into that into greater detail shortly. It is a preview build. There was crashes of the game regularly, which we are associating with that build of the game. Because if it's in the final version, it's going to be a real pain, and I can't see that being the case. I think it is a problem with the CPU not being able to grab all this data at the same time, and that's it went because I don't think all the data's in the preview build, and that's causing the crashing. So, but you need to be aware of that because we had that issue with 2K20. We didn't really see any big problems with 2K20 on the preview build, and then it turned into a cluster mayhem when the final release came out. So we don't want to hear comments of, oh, you never said the game was buggy and glitching, if it actually does occur. Gotcha? Good. So that was what was the main focal point that put a lot of people off playing it over the weekend, because we would get into a match, it would crash after 4 or 5 minutes. But the matches don't last long anyway. Especially steel cage matches, you're talking 2.5 to 3 minutes normally, if you're lucky. That's not necessarily a bad thing, because how the steel cage match works with grabbing the money bags and stuff, it flows nice and well. It's actually probably its best match type, because, well, I don't think there's many match types. I mean, we know of Gauntlet match, Royal Rumble, King of the Battlegrounds. Royal Rumble and King of the Battlegrounds are going to be very similar to one another. So, but we didn't get to play it, so I can't comment on them properly. But if it's over the top eliminations and you've got the throws and stuff, unless they've changed that mode explicitly, I can't see there being major changes. But prove me wrong, because you've proved me wrong with Battlegrounds as well, because it is quite addicting, despite the simple nature of the game. I have played this probably more than double than anyone else. That's my obsessive nature when it comes to these sort of things. I've made quite a few videos already on the channel at the same time as this video being available for viewing pleasure. You'll be able to see moveset videos of various WWE superstars. Of the 15 we got to play, they'll be going out over the course of the next sort of 24, 48 hours. On top of that, there will be other bits of gameplay and stuff as well, which is all good and everything like that. And there's some lovely move animations in the game. There's no questions that when we saw the original trailers for the game, the animations were fantastic. Certain moves look incredible. That's without cut for light. It looks all-starsy and stuff. And it's the Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine was for WWE All-Stars, but it's not the WWE All-Stars engine. There is decent hit detection for a lot of it. If they're doing a throw, which you've seen people get thrown into cars and into the crocodiles and stuff that Fireman carries hold, you are able to interfere on that move. You're not able to really interfere on any other grapple, which is odd, but All-Stars had that issue with finishers as well. Submissions are overpowered, unsurprisingly. It uses the same system as the pin bar, except it goes with the aggressor rather than the defender trying to get to the top of the bar. And if they're on no health, submission is an instant win. But it's an arcadey game, so I get it. Everyone has a submission as a ground grapple. Technicians, such as Xavier Wood and Asuka, have a cross arm breaker as a standing grapple. And, well, there's a video I will post. There's actually 2 videos of me being able to put on the submission as the pinfall was going on and still win the submission with that submission. So, 3 count pinfall, half a second submission. Which one do you go for? You know, from a gameplay perspective. So, competitively, you can't do an esports on this. There is too much to... It is fun, pick up and play, no question. When there was 4 of us playing, whether I was playing with JB or Viking or Smack Talks or L or Dale Zinski or Paddy or anyone else, it was really good fun. It is definitely a streaming game more than a YouTube game. Playing this with viewers on stream get some good funds in sort of hour, 2 hour sessions at a time. This is not something you can delve 24 hours into, but the price point doesn't dictate that. It's a £30 game. It's a budget title. It is half of what a game normally, or just about half of what a game normally will be. The thing is, with all the sort of creation parts that we've seen in the up, down trailers and stuff, it's not something that will have longevity for the majority of people. And superstars will have to be unlocked with coins and stuff. It's not like you have a full roster to start with either. So it will take time, but that's okay. If you're really addicted to the game, most of the superstars' movesets are identical. So the brawlers all have a set moveset. So do the all-rounders, so do the high flyers, and so do the technicians. Certain superstars have unique moves. So The Rock has his people punch as a different strike. He has an extra grapple of a DDT. Asuka has her green mist and an empress kick and a back fist. Daniel Bryan has his own diving headbutt and front drop kick and the Psycho knee. So there is, for most superstars, they will have their own unique sort of moveset. When it came to power-ups, we were only given one tier 1 power-up, one tier 2 power-up, one tier 3 power-up. So we don't know what all the other power-ups properly do. We've seen them in trailers, but it's a little bit sort of lacking that we all had the same 3 power-ups that all did the same thing. The first one helped with strikes, the second one helped you regenerate health, and the third one made your strikes and kicks be unblockable. That's fine, but that doesn't show off the game, and that's the problem with this preview build. The game's out in less than a week. We were sort of expecting a close to final build of the game and being able to access a lot more stuff. So to be sort of stuck with a limiting factor to show off the game is a bit stupid, in my honest opinion, because the physical copies will have been printed. Physical copies will be in transit to distributors at this present moment. Then they will get shipped to retailers, of which I am a retailer, which I will get that copy normally the day before release, so I've got them ready to sell on the Friday morning. So I don't understand why we were given this restriction on the preview build. It's a bit odd. But for 4-player, if it's not the AI, because the AI was atrocious, it is one of the worst AIs I've seen. Again, it could be because of that build. I have a sneaky suspicion it probably won't be, but because it just doesn't feel orchestrated. The logic inside the AI is very simple. They're not aggressive, which is odd as well. And there's lots of little bits of pieces. But I will be playing this game. It's not something I'm going to just suddenly stop and play for one day. I think there will be some longevity. I don't know about the career mode because it wasn't given to us. We weren't given the creation suites. We weren't given Royal Rumble or King of the Battlegrounds or anything like that. That was all grade off, or even 1v1 matches. And we were only given 2 arenas as well, the Swamp and the Garage, and the Mechanic Suite, or whatever you want to call it. So again, not the full game, and I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. I wanted to be able to play with as many people as I could because it was fun, addicting. Granted, I did win most of the matches, humble brag, but the matches I didn't win, it wasn't like I was, oh, you son of a beep. It didn't feel frustration or anything like that. It just felt enjoyable, which for a title like this is a breath of fresh air. Hopefully the full game will give us that sort of expansion, and we will get to have some good fun with the Fatal 4-Ways and the tags and the tornado tags and stuff. And hopefully it will just be a nice sort of... It's not going to be in depth. It's not a 2K20 simulation game that people are going to do creations for 20 years or whatever. It's not that sort of thing. But it's a nice arcadey game. It feels, as we were discussing months ago in previous videos, this does feel a lot like the Fire Pro Wrestling game that was on the 360 with your Xbox Live avatars. It feels very similar to that. But hit detection is decent, grappling and everything like that. And once you get the flow and know what moves can be done for each character, the sort of because this is how it works. You have normal grapple, the A button, everyone has that. When it comes to the analog stick grapples, some superstars have an up grapple, some don't. So the more you play with Superstar, the more you'll remember their moveset and stuff like that. It's kind of like a fighting game in that respect. The combos only apply to certain characters. Fair enough, there's going to be quite a few characters. But it doesn't really change the gameplay too much by playing a unique move, in all honesty. I think you play the game pretty much the same. If you're a high flyer, you're going to be trying to springboard on the ropes, off the ropes, top rope, etc. Do running sort of thing. The powerhouse will just try and do big strikes, do the earthquake and all that nature. Ring breaking is fun, don't get me wrong. It also makes the match false count anyway when the ring properly breaks, instead of doing pinfalls and submissions just in the ring. Great logic on that. And there is a sign of a glimmer of hope of really good things going to be on this game. And like I said, I wouldn't have played this for 23.4 hours according to my Steam account. Granted, it was in the menu for quite a few hours, so it's probably more like 16, 17. So if I really hated it, I wouldn't have been playing it. So I did enjoy this, and that's what you got to come from this. If you were skeptical about it, even though we had lots of crashes in this preview build, it has to be said, the crashes, in my opinion, and it's not everyone's opinion, didn't deter me from playing the game. So if the final build does have the crashes, yeah, that's a big issue, don't get me wrong, but I'll still play it. And granted, this is the PC version, not console version, which I'll more unlikely be playing on anyway. So if the console versions are fine, awesome, and we'll have some fun with it. I don't think I'm going to be playing it for months at a time, but a stream here or there for an hour or two with people, it will definitely be worth playing and watching. So, what do you think? Any questions, please let me know in the comment section below, of course. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, turn off the notifications on, yeah, turn the notifications on, yeah, turn the notifications on, because there will be lots of WWE 2K Battlegrounds footage over the coming weeks. So, get your horses on, and I will see you on the other side. Bye now.